Want to checkmate your opponent with a style and a confidence? In today's video, we are gonna learn the 5 different techniques to do the checkmate even against the good players. The back rank mate. So what you have to do in this position, the king is trapped behind his own pawns, usually in a 8 rank. So you can just simply put the rook on the d8, and now it's a checkmate. King cannot move at the upside because his own pawn is blocking him. Cannot go to the sides because those are not safe square for the king. You can just give attack to the king, and it's an checkmate. The benefit of this check that king cannot escape because it's trapped. If any piece try to blocks it, let's suppose here it is a queen, okay, and queen is trying to block it, but we can simply kill the queen and it's again a check. Now no piece can block it, but if queen is here, it can block, but still they will lose the queen or anything they have, right? So that's the benefit of a back rank mate. The ladder mate. So in the ladder mate, you have 2 rooks or maybe the 1 rook and the 1 queen. You can use these pieces to do the checkmate. So you put the rook here to the h4 after king moves maybe. So you put the h4. Now this whole rank is being cut, right? So king cannot come down here. King can attack here, but you can just simply move the rook far away from the king. Okay, then king tries to move in this up file or the rank. Then we can just check him. He goes back, we gave again a check, he goes back trying to close to the rook, so we can't do checkmate. We give again a check, he will come close. We will just move the rook here, and then he will just move here, and then we can just simply put the rook at the b8, and now it's a mate. Now the benefit of this is king cannot escape here if you only have a king. If you have some piece like bishop or anything, you can try to block this checkmate, the ladder checkmate, but it's no use if it's against a 2 rook. If it's against a 1 rook, then you can't do ladder mate, but you can fight with the bishop with a 1 rook. But whenever it is a 2 rook against a 1 bishop, you can't win. Smothered mate. So in this checkmate, you simply checkmate with the knight. Example, if I just take this pawn on the b7 by my rook, queen will take the rook, and then I will just put my knight to the c6, and it's a smothered mate. So smothered mate is technically when king cannot move because of his own pieces, and from the knight you do the checkmate, as you can see in this position. So benefit of this checkmate is no one can kill the knight here, and it's easy to do when the king is in a trap because of his own pieces. The queen and a king mate. So in this queen mate and a king mate, you just have to cut the squares of the black king in the knight distance. You just have to put the queen in the knight distance. So by putting the queen on the knight distance, you are like blocking the squares which king can go, and which stops him to escape the checkmate. So if I put the queen here, it's cutting these squares, right? The knight squares, the knight shaped squares. So then the king will go back, you will push, go back, push. If he tries to come front, you can just put the queen on the e3 here, and then he will start going back again. If he tries to push you like this, it doesn't matter because it will lead to a checkmate in the end like this. Now there is no square for king to left on the front part. He'll just go back, you can push the queen, and now king have just only 2 square to move. You can move the king now, he will just move king, and he will just move. You can move the king, he will again move, you can move the king, you can again move, you can move the king, and then when he do this, you can just simply put the queen on the g7 and it's a mate. Rook mate. How to do checkmate with a 1 king and a 1 rook? So it's easy to do the checkmate with a 1 queen and a 1 king, but it's hard to do the checkmate with a 1 rook and a 1 king. If you make a slightest mistake, it will lead to a draw. So firstly, you have to cut the rank of the king so it cannot come down from it, and it's locked now. So once king move, you will just simply move the king, if king tries to reach at your rook, you will reach first, and even if he reach first, there is no benefit of it because you have a rook which is covering, right, the area. Just simply move the rook, it will just lead to us this, and you can move the king. Now the king have the least square to move because these lines are cut, and even if it's not cut, let's suppose, you can simply move the king here. Let's suppose if you just done the mistake and you will put here, opponent puts here, you put here, and it's here, right? So now you can just put the king here, rook, you can put the rook here. Now king have only 6 squares to move. If the king is in the outer area, you have to cut down the king's area in a L shape with the rook. Now once the king in a corner, you can push and drag him into the corner more, so you can checkmate that king easily and move the king. He will come front, then go, then again cut. Now king have 4 squares to move. He will go back, just come here, and king will just come up. Now you don't have to do such silly things or something like this, or maybe you give check like this. Don't do that things, okay? Don't do like that. Don't push the rook to the corner like the G8, otherwise king will escape. Instead of that, you can just pull back the rook, and then king will have only one escape, which is h8, and then you can put the rook to the h6, and that's a mate here. Hope this video helps you to improve your chess skills, and for more such content, subscribe the Dhyan Chess Academy.